plant questions. I guess not garden this time of year. Good to see you.
We're gardening. We're just indoor gardening.
Indoor gardening. Good New Year?
I did, and you guys?
Yeah.
It was quiet.
Nice
It was
quiet.
good. Made a puzzle.
Ooh.
Awesome. I know.
What would you bring in?
So I thought we'd need a little relief from Christmas plants, although I understand there are questions,
Well,
which we will deal with. But I brought a carnation. Because
it smells great.
Yes, you've taken your tree down.
Well,
Probably, well, not this one. You've taken your tree down and your house is looking a little bit bleak because you had all that light and sparkle. And so, time to bring in some winter flowering plants or some green plants just to put some life back in for the dreary months of January and February.
It smells great.
It does smell good. This is fragrant, a little spicy.
Okay, we'll get to some questions now. Sean just moved to a new home, and there are hydrangeas around the foundation. He asks, what is the advice on care? Should you clip the blooms off now for winter, or are we too late? If we're too late, is there a good time to do it in the spring, or do you advise not to clip?
So I would say, without knowing exactly what kind of hydrangea you have, I would hold off on the clipping until spring. So the buds will pop out pretty early, and once you see those buds start to expand and green up, then you can clip it back and shape it. And that won't hurt flower production for next year, for the next spring. If you think that it's just messy looking and you just want to clip the flowers off, you can go ahead and do that at any time.
Okay.
But drastic pruning, I would wait until spring.
All right.
well, in this question, so how do I keep my succulent alive and growing when there's basically clouds out every day? And is it possible that part of the weak and wilted flowering is because my heat is set at 63 degrees and I do not move the plant away from the windows and doors to keep it warmer at night? Some advice from Kelly. Kelly needs some
63
advice.
degrees.
Okay, so most succulents can tolerate a cooler temperature. So you can go ahead and you don't need to keep it in a warm spot. One of the things with succulents, even though they are looking like they're wilting, be careful that you're not overwatering, because succulents, especially in the winter, don't require a lot of water. So make sure that the pot dries out fairly thoroughly between waterings. If you're used to watering maybe once a week or every couple weeks, you may want to stretch that out. And that should help.
All right. Kelly wants to, or Sheila wants to know, what is the easiest way to root hibiscus cuttings? Planting and follow-up tips would be appreciated.
Okay, so hibiscus cuttings, I am not a hybridizer, and so taking cuttings is a very specialized thing. I will say that in general, you want to use a damp sand medium. You would want to get yourself some rooting compound, but you're going to want to check on the internet and see when the best time to take the cuttings is. Some like to be cut when they're green, and some like to be cut after it starts to harden off. So once you determine that, come into the plant desk and we'll talk you through the process.
Okay.
Well, I think this next question speaks for all of us. Linda wants to know how to take care of a beautiful poinsettia, which we have a prop.
Down here.
Don't hurt yourself.
Look, there's a poinsettia.
And
there
that
it
is
is.
beautiful.
And it is
How
beautiful.
do we care for this?
So poinsettias are from Mexico, so they like warm temps. So that is someplace where you would want to put this, not by a cold window, but in a warmer spot where there's not a draft. The other thing that people do with poinsettias is they overwater them. I can feel this one in this foil that there's water sitting in here, and that happens a lot. So make sure that you either put a hole in the bottom of this foil, which I'm not going to do because I'm going to have water in my lap, or you take it out of that and put it in a pot, and when you water it, you let it drain thoroughly, and then you put it back in the decorative kind of thing.
They don't have wet feet.
They do not like wet feet. They are not exactly a cactus, but a euphorbia is like similar condition.
So it needs dry January.
Right.
The flowers are here.
These are the flowers, these little yellow things, and then these are called bracts, which are modified leaves, and that's where the color is. And the color is determined by daylight, length, kind of like when you're trying to get a Christmas cactus into bloom.
But they sort of just eventually lose their leaves.
Yeah, they do, and some people can keep them going for a long time, and some people can't. You know, for me, a poinsettia is, you know, just, it's a Christmas thing, and when Christmas is over, I'm kind of over it too.
So you just throw them right in the trash?
I kind of do.
Oh, what?
I'm sorry. You know, in the garden center, like after Christmas, nobody wants them. So we've been giving ours away to staff and customers. I know you guys have
and we're giving them away
a pile of them
So do you
in the
want
lobby.
to take some with you?
No, thank you.
To throw in the garbage, I guess?
No, thank you very
It's like a horror movie. Pamela has a Christmas cactus that has many buds, but they won't open. What do you do?
Okay, so buds not opening, that it's got flower buds is good. That means that you've set the day length. I would say that make sure that it's getting plenty of light. And again, it likes a cooler spot. So in your sunniest window, and don't worry about the fact that there might not be a heating place right there. You don't want it to freeze, but Christmas cactus can stand it till like 40 outside.
Really?
So yeah. So there'll be it sounds like it needs more light.
You want to put this down?
Sure. I just have that in my lap.
I was hoping that you were
hours.
just gonna like, kick it away. Are there types of burning bushes that are not invasive, or are there some good alternatives? Carly wants to know.
Okay, so burning bush, a lot of the older cultivars were invasive because they set a lot of fruit. The fruit is prized by birds. It's sort of a spring, summer fruiting thing, and then the birds take it and distribute the seed. Most of the newer cultivars are not as prolific with producing seed. The other thing you can do with a burning bush is shear it in the spring right after it flowers. Then you're getting rid of all that fruit, and that will handle the problem anyway. As far as alternatives, if you're looking for kind of that rounded shape and fall color, which is usually why people want burning bushes, I would look at aronia. That's called chokeberry, and there are a lot of new, smaller cultivars on the market. I'd also look at a plant that's a little harder to find called Father Gia or witch alder. It also has excellent fall color and a smaller size.
I love those burning bushes in the fall. They're just spectacular.
Yeah, they are.
All right, Tracy, for a cypress tree, when is it safe to prune, and how can you prune it at one time?
So cypress, if you're talking about arborvitae, which is what a lot of people would call cypress, if you're talking about hardy plants here, best time to prune evergreens is in the summer, end of June, early July. The new growth will come out and it will be really bright green compared to the older growth, kind of soft, and when that growth starts to darken in color and harden off, that's when you would do any shearing that you would want to do.
Okay.
Not now.
All right.
I think this is an interesting question. Robert has a Thanksgiving cactus, but it's turned into a Christmas cactus. How can he get it back to a Thanksgiving cactus?
Okay, well,
It bloom later.
a Thanksgiving cactus is a particular plant as opposed to a Christmas cactus. And the way you tell the difference is the leaves. If on those little leaves the scallops have little points, then it's a Thanksgiving cactus. And if they're rounded, it's a Christmas cactus. Bloom time probably just depends on how it came into flower bud. So if you leave it outside or in a room where it is dark and light, where you have distinct day length, like in a bedroom where people aren't in at night, it will come into flower more timely. But if you have it in a room where there is light for longer parts of the day, then it might slow down the flowering. Most of the cactus that we sell at this time of year that are blooming for Christmas are all Thanksgiving cactus.
Is there an Easter cactus?
There is an Easter cactus, and it has an even less scallopy leaf. No, but there is.
Halloween cactus?
All right,
No Halloween
We're
cactus.
out of time. Thank you all for writing in. At least we'll be on the noon show on Monday if you didn't get in. So get your questions in.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
You guys too.
It's only Wednesday.
We'll
All
get
right.
there.
Final check your forecast coming up.